Most people believe they already know where life is better in America. The states that get talked about the most, the cities that dominate social media, the places that look impressive in photos and headlines. But when you slow things down and focus on how people actually live day after day, a very different story begins to unfold. Some states look exciting from the outside, yet feel crowded, expensive, and stressful once real life sets in. Others rarely get attention at all. No viral clips, no hype cycles, but quietly, consistently, they offer something many people are searching for right now: balance. This list is not about popularity, it's not about trendiness, and it's not about chasing the next hot destination. It's about everyday life. Housing pressure, commute time, job stability, cost of living, safety, community, the things that shape how life actually feels since routines settle in and the excitement fades. Today, we're breaking down the most underrated states for everyday life. And one state on this list surprises almost everyone. Let's begin. Number 10. Iowa is often dismissed before the conversation even starts. Flat, quiet, boring. That's the reputation many people carry with them. But for residents, everyday life here feels remarkably steady. Housing costs in Iowa remain among the lowest in the country, not just in rural areas, but across much of the state. That alone changes how life feels. When housing doesn't dominate your income, everything else becomes easier. Commutes are short, traffic is minimal, daily routines don't feel rushed or chaotic. Jobs here tend to be stable rather than flashy. Healthcare, manufacturing, education, and agriculture provide consistent employment without dramatic swings. People aren't constantly chasing the next opportunity just to keep up. Community plays a bigger role in Iowa than many expect. Schools are locally supported, neighborhoods feel familiar, people still show up for each other. Crime rates remain relatively low, especially outside the largest cities. Of course, Iowa has limitations. Entertainment options are modest, major cities are few, and cultural variety can feel limited to some. But for people who value predictability, affordability, and a calmer daily rhythm, Iowa quietly delivers a quality of life that many more popular states struggle to maintain. Number 9. Arkansas rarely enters conversations about livability. Yet for everyday life, it offers surprising advantages. Housing remains affordable across most of the state. Even in growing areas like Northwest Arkansas, that affordability gives residents flexibility, less financial pressure, less stress, more room to breathe. Nature is woven into daily life here. Forests, lakes, mountains, and trails aren't weekend luxuries. They're part of the environment people live in. That access matters more than it seems. It changes how people unwind, how families spend time together, and how stress gets managed. Employment has also grown quietly. Logistics, healthcare, manufacturing, and retail distribution continue to expand. Jobs may not be glamorous, but they're steady. The trade-offs are real. Public transportation is limited. Some rural areas feel isolated, and infrastructure can lag behind growth. But for people who value outdoor access, lower costs, and a slower pace, Arkansas often feels more livable than expected. Number 8. Indian is often overlooked because it doesn't stand out. And that's part of the appeal. Everyday life here feels manageable. Housing prices remain reasonable. Property taxes are relatively low, and wages stretch further than in many neighboring states. Cities like Indianapolis provide urban amenities with it, the density or cost of larger metro areas. Commutes are shorter, traffic is predictable, daily schedules feel easier to control. Indiana's economy leans toward stability. Manufacturing, healthcare, logistics, and education form a reliable employment base. People aren't constantly being priced out of their own communities. The downside is excitement. Indiana isn't a nightlife destination. Entertainment options are limited outside major cities. But for families, professionals, and people focused on long-term stability, Indiana offers a lifestyle that feels grounded rather than overwhelming. Number 7. Missouri sits in the background of national conversations. Yet for everyday living, it strikes a strong balance. Housing remains accessible across much of the state, even in metro areas like Kansas City and St. Louis. That affordability allows people to plan long-term. Saving, homeownership, stability. Daily life here doesn't feel rushed. Commutes are manageable, neighborhoods feel established, and costs remain predictable. Missouri's job market is diverse. Healthcare, logistics, manufacturing, and professional services all play a role. That diversity cushions the economy during national downturns. Missouri does carry a perception problem, some associate it with slow growth or decline, but residents often describe life here as comfortable, affordable, and resilient. For people who value practicality over prestige, Missouri quietly earns its place on this list. Number 6. Nebraska. Nebraska rarely gets attention, but everyday life here feels intentionally designed for balance. Unemployment rates remain low, wages are steady, and housing costs stay within reach. Cities like Omaha and Lincoln offer strong healthcare systems, education, and job opportunities without excessive competition. Commutes are short, traffic is light, and routines feel calm. That lack of chaos matters. It reduces daily stress, it improves work-life balance, and it allows people to focus on long-term goals. Nebraska's biggest limitation is variety. Entertainment options are limited, and travel often requires planning. But for people who prioritize predictability, financial stability, and low stress, Nebraska offers a quality of life that many faster-growing states can't match. Number 5. Kentucky is often misunderstood, reduced to stereotypes, overlooked in rankings, but everyday life here tells a different story. Housing remains affordable across much of the state, even near cities like Louisville and Lexington. That affordability opens doors. Homeownership, lower monthly expenses, greater financial security. Employment opportunities continue to grow in logistics, manufacturing, healthcare, and education. Nature also plays a quiet role. Rolling hills, parks, and scenic drives shape the daily environment. That connection to nature changes how life feels. The challenges are real. Infrastructure varies. Healthcare access can differ by region, but for many residents, the lower cost of living and slower pace far outweigh the drawbacks. Kentucky's strength lies in its balance between affordability and livability. Number 4. Michigan is often judged by its past, but everyday life here has evolved. Housing prices remain reasonable compared to many coastal states. Job opportunities have diversified beyond traditional manufacturing. Healthcare, technology, and education play larger roles. Access to freshwater, parks, and outdoor recreation is unmatched. Lakes, trails, and green space are part of daily life for many residents. Winters are long, that's the trade-off, but many residents say the seasons create rhythm rather than stress. Life here feels structured, predictable, grounded. For people seeking community, affordability, and long-term stability, Michigan continues to rebuild in meaningful ways. Number 3. Minnesota. Minnesota consistently performs well yet rarely gets the recognition it deserves. Everyday life here feels organized and dependable. Healthcare systems are strong. Education ranks high. Public services function reliably. Employment opportunities remain stably across healthcare, technology, and professional services. Outside the Twin Cities core, the cost of living stays manageable. Daily systems work. Schools, roads, public safety. That reliability reduces long-term stress. Winters are intense, but for many residents, the quality of life during the rest of the year makes the trade-off worthwhile. Minnesota stands out for how smoothly life runs since routines settle in. Number 2. Wisconsin. Wisconsin blends affordability and livability in a way few states manage. Housing costs remain accessible. Wages are competitive. Daily expenses feel reasonable. Cities like Madison and Milwaukee for education, culture, and employment with that overwhelming density. Community matters here. People tend to stay long-term. Neighborhoods feel connected. Local identity remains strong. Weather is the main drawback. Cold winters are part of the reality, but for people prioritizing stability, work-life balance, and affordability, Wisconsin delivers an exceptionally balanced lifestyle. Number 1, Ohio doesn't dominate headlines. And that's exactly why it works. Housing pressure remains manageable in growing cities like Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. Job opportunities span healthcare, logistics, education, manufacturing, and technology. Wages align realistically with the cost of living. That alignment matters. It reduces financial stress. It improves work-life balance. It allows people to plan ahead. Commutes are reasonable. Cities are functional. Daily routines feel sustainable. Ohio isn't flashy. It isn't trendy. But for everyday life, things simply work better here. And that's what puts Ohio at number 1. At the end of the day, the best place to live isn't about popularity. It's about how life feels since routines take over. As conditions continue to change across the country, choosing the right place to live matters more than ever. The real question isn't which state is the best, it's which one fits the life you actually want.